out to other people and unlock empathy and emotions in our leadership styles. To become human leaders, we must be able to lead not only with our heads, but as well with our hearts and soul. And you will tell us how we can cultivate empathy by starting with ourselves. The masterclasses of so you're all amazing. Thank you for your loyalty in this program. You were about a bit more than 200 people last week to hear Virginia Drummond, who was direct from Australia, talking about intercultural management best practices from the field. You can retrieve this masterclass on our YouTube channel or on your favorite podcast app. The masterclasses are made possible by the support of Incentive. We are a platform for sales manager to coach the team. We work in 20 countries, available in 15 languages across industries, consumer product, financial services, or technology. If you're interested, don't hesitate to reach out to our sales team. The introduction is over. Maybe Lila, you can tell us who Hortense le Gentil really is, and then we'll follow up with questions.
Yes, so Hortense, after training in marketing and management, you started out as a media manager at Havas. You became a consultant at Blue Spirit in '92, then held positions in several departments, including Lagardère and L'Express. In 2006 and 2014, you founded several coaching and consulting companies in Paris and in New York, offering one-to-one coaching to CEOs and senior executives. In January 2022, you co-founded H2 Consulting Group in New York, where you are currently managing director. As a certified Marshall Goldsmith stakeholder-centered coach, you have also been nominated for the Thinkers 50 Coaching and Mentoring Awards in 2021 and 2023, and are among the world's top leadership coaches, ranked 5th on the Global Careers list. As an author, you have published 2 major books, Align in 2019 and The Unblocked Leader in 2023, where you guide leaders to rise a more human and empathetic leadership style. You also collaborate with renowned publications such as Harvard Business Review and ThriveGlobal.com, and have been featured in Forbes and Business Insider. Now based in New York, you continue to help leaders around the world unleash their potential and lead with empathy and authenticity. The Managerial Excellence Masterclasses community is honored to welcome you today.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, Hortense. So our journey towards becoming a real human leader requires to identify which among all the beliefs that we have about ourselves have become obstacles. And you call that mind traps. Mind traps. How do we end up in mind traps?
So we are, our brain is made with our environment, our, our education, our parents, and so on. So for a while, it's helpful, to have those kind of roads or help to grow. Let's take a metaphor. When you are small and you learn how to bike, first you have some wheels. You have 2 wheels and you practice. And then one day you don't need the wheels anymore. And then, okay, your parents take off the wheels, you're afraid, but okay, you can do it by yourself. And then you can bike and you can go far away if you want. Same with the mind trap and beliefs. So we built ourselves with beliefs and expectation from school, from parents. We want to please. We want to do that way because we think or people around you told you that you think is the right way. So it was helpful until now. So it's your wills. You needed it because you needed, to be to know how to do it. You needed some help. And one day we need to be courageous enough to take off the wheels. And then when we are leader and you're here, you're successful, everything went quite well, and then you don't know why you should do that, because you're afraid. Because okay, why should I change? Why should I take off those wheels? Because it helped me until now. But what you feel is it doesn't help you anymore. You don't need them anymore. It's all right. You need to be connected with yourself. You need to be yourself. You need to take off those wheels and and to go away. You need to be by yourself. And this is how you're going to find your power, your happiness, and this is how you become really a leader.
So, what are the voices that hold us back in our mind traps?
So yes, so you have to go to this process. This is a process. This is not happening in one day. This is a journey, and this is a process. So the first thing is to take the time to start and to think about it. And then you ask yourself, where am I trapped? What is my trap? And then this is this feeling. So again, expectation, beliefs, you feel it that hold you back. I would like to do that way, but I don't do it. I don't do it because I never did it like that, because I was told this is this way. And then, okay, it's a part of yourself who is talking with the other part and saying, okay, I cannot do it. So that means that you are trapped somewhere. You are not connected with who you are, your own talent. And then the first thing is to be aware of that. Where are you trapped? Where is your mind trap? What is your mind trap? So a lot of my clients, they are trapped. One of the common mind trap is I want to be perfect. I have to be perfect. But you cannot. You cannot be perfect because, we are all human beings, and especially in that, crazy world today, who can predict tomorrow? We need to be agile. We need to be resilient, but we don't have playbook for that. And then we are here and we said, okay, I'm locked here because I want so much to be perfect that I'm going, I'm afraid, and I cannot go further. And then you have to go this process of, okay, my mind trap is here. Face your fears. You're afraid. It's fine. It's absolutely all right. It's normal. Afraid to failure, afraid to chaos, or just to feel your emotion or emotion of others. Yes, this is true. This is okay, perfectly okay. So I like to say that have a conversation with your fears. Talk with your fears. Okay, you're here. I know you're here. Okay, I'm going to move forwards, but I know you're here because I think you cannot be without fears. It doesn't exist. A human being are always some, it's a question of level. And so having this conversation, acknowledge your fears. And then behind those fears, so if you want, to start the process of, your mind traps, find your mind traps, unlock your mind traps, you need to find, as you said, the source. So find the source. Where it's coming from? Who said that? It can come from trauma that are not overcome. So trauma can be a daily trauma. It doesn't have to be something big, but it's here. It's in your brain. I will maybe come back to that later. And then can come from trauma or voices. So the voices, what are the voices behind the trauma? And I will share with you an example in 1 minute. But the voices, or the third thing is, can come from your identity. How do you identify yourself? Who are you? If you are the CEO of the company or whoever, if you think this is who you are, you have a big trouble, because one day you will not be the CEO of this company anymore. So you will be, completely lost. And then those voices, and then those voices, if we come back, if I want to answer directly, sorry, it's a long answer, but to answer your question, it's the question, the voices are very personal. The mind trap are very personal, but can be your parents, it can be your education, it can be, in French we say on a dit, on a dit. It's in the air, so it's like that. Who said that, by the way? We don't know. Doesn't matter. On a dit, il faut. In French we say that a lot. And then there are those voices. It's not your voice, and there are so many voices in your brain that you cannot hear your own voice.
And it's true that very often we need to step into different roles with different hats. Sometimes we wear the wrong hat with the wrong person. For example, we might be wearing the hat of a parent with a junior colleague, and we step in instead of letting them find their own solutions. Potentially, it's we build our own mind traps, don't we?
Yes. So that I will call, Roland, that I will call more. It's more about PNL. So all of us, we have three. We have a child in our body, in our brain. We still have the child, the parents, and the adult. And it happened very often. You're right that with a colleague, for example, we consider the colleagues, or we do like we parenting a colleague. Wrong. It happened also that you, as a leader, you can feel, for example, with your board members, sometimes you can position yourself as a children because you're afraid somewhere. So you feel like, oh, they know better than me or whatever. Wrong. So that's very important. Your point is very important, is how, recognize how you show up in a day. So when you are working, when you are at work, you show up as an adult. And in 1 hour you can move, because of course, yes, I don't know, something happened in your family, you have a cold, so whatever, so you are the mother or you are the father, so you are the parenting, and then after you go back to work, and so be careful to not be to not be the parent of your team, because this is not what they need. They don't need you to show up and give this is the answer, this is how we are going to do. Not at all. Not at all. And then so this is how I would answer this question.
In the second part of your book, you talk about mind shifts. So now that we're aware of our mind traps that may be coming from our parents, from our environment, from our colleagues, from our social network, we're aware of them. Then we need to operate on them and change. And you, in the part 2, you help readers shift mind traps out of the way. And I'll tell one of the legend that you quote, a Native American legend. Let me read that. A Native American legend tells the story of an elder who teaches his grandson, there are two wolves waging a war within me. He tells the young boy, one is evil, anger, hate, and despair. The other is good, is kindness, love, and hope. He explains that the same war takes place in the heart of every person. And then the boy thinks for a moment, which one will win, he asks, and the grandfather smiles, the one you feed, the one you feed. So is your message that we have the ability to feed different wolves in ourselves to shift mind traps out of the way?
Absolutely, because this. Okay, so again, just for everyone to follow, this is a process. This is a process of unlocking yourself, of freeing yourself from your mind trap. So okay, we are here. We found your mind trap. We found the source. You identify the source, the voices behind the source, and then now let me just once a month share an example. Maybe it's better. So I had a client years ago. He was expected to be the next CEO of the company. So he was ready for that. Then in order to do that, he has to have many interviews with a board member, right? And then out of the blue, his behavior completely changed. He became very talkative. He talked a lot. He didn't listen. He was another person. So of course he didn't get the job. Then he came to me and he said, Hortense, I absolutely don't know what happened. help me. I said, okay, we are going to figure out, what happened. Then we revisited at that time, revisiting his life. He remembered that years ago, when he was a student, he had to pass an exam, and in order to pass an exam, he has to be in front of, a bunch of teachers. One of the teachers didn't let him talk. He cut him off all the time. So imagine this A+ student who was there and he was ready and he couldn't talk because, he was cutting up. Then he was shocked. It was, created a trauma. He didn't understand. And then it was not enough. The teacher told him, young guy, I don't know what you're going to do in life, but I can promise you something. You will never be a CEO because I can see, your emotion on your face. Wow. So this, this young guy left school with a trauma, with a prediction he will not be a CEO, and thinking that he doesn't have, by the way, to show emotions if one day, he arrives to that point. Wrong, wrong, wrong. But of course, he graduated, he grew up, and he became this amazing leader. Except that, when he had to face for the first time this prediction, it was time for him to be CEO. He was very young, by the way, at the time. His unconscious, because this is the beauty of our brain, his unconscious was there and was remember that. And unconsciously, he said, nobody this time is going to cut me off. I'm going to talk and I'm going to say what I have to say. So, it was like it was like, everything in his brain was running that way. And then this is how he acted, except that it was not the right moment. And then his behavior changed just to protect, in fact, himself, because he had this trauma in his brain. Then we work on that, how to let go. So I'm going to explain how to let go, because now we knew, he was aware of that and how to let go. And then he chose to let go. So with 3 powerful questions, I asked him, is it true that you cannot be a CEO? To challenge the voice, in fact, because here now you need to challenge. So is it true? In this case, no. Is it relevant? It was not. It is helpful today? No. So are you ready to let go? It's time to let go. And then he let go. So I had some exercise to let go, because it's not that easy to let go. Because, by the way, if you want to let go correctly, you have to have no emotion. You feel no emotion when you're revisiting the moment or whatever it was. This is how you let go. Then you are free. And then you can write your own story. And then you don't carry, all these suitcases and things that are not belonging, they don't belong to you anymore. And you don't need that. And then in that case, so to answer your question, so the mind shift is, think about it. You have many ways to do it, but the very simple way is to challenge with those 3 questions. Is it true? Is it relevant? Is it helpful today? Because maybe it helped you. Yeah, it helped you. It helped you until now, but now it doesn't help you anymore. So in that case, it was not helpful at all. And then you only have to answer yes to one of them.
You're quoting a top executive coach, Marshall Goldsmith, who said, "Who got you there? Won't you get there? What got you here? Won't you get there?" And he listed about 20 bad habits of leaders. Does it mean that our leadership style, our leadership emotions, should be different when we're running a small organization or we're a VP of something, and when we become CEOs of large organizations?
No, I don't see that like that. I think that what is important, and especially today, because we said before, there is no playbook today. What is important is just be connected to you. We need you. We need you, Roland. We don't need you, even if you have a twin. Your twin is different because everything, this is what I tried to explain. I didn't do that, but I didn't explain correctly. But our brain, our brain built ourselves between before we are born until 7, they say, research say, or something like that. And so, things happen in our environment, and all of us, we have our own way to receive, this, the events or what happened around you. The example that I share with you, another student would completely forgot, and it will not be a trauma, Then you are specific. You are one person, and I am a big believer that each person has a special talent. So Roland, you have a special talent. This place where you feel, it's me. Yeah, it's me. Then you feel better. You feel yourself completely 100%, and you go your way. Even if some people that don't like it, it's fine. Then this is what we are talking about. This connection with yourself, because we talk a lot about empathy, but empathy starts with yourself, connecting to who you are. So do the things you think are good for you and are good for the organization. Leadership means, to me, someone who can inspire others. If you want to be a great leader, think about how you want to show up. Take the time to think how you want to show up. And then you are not anymore a doer, you are here to show the vision and to empower people. You are here for people. Your role change, whatever it's a small or a big organization. After it's details, but you are this captain of the boat. So which direction do you want to go? And then if you don't know who you are, if you're not connected with yourself, you cannot, how can you be, if you're not correctly connected with yourself, how can you just be connected with others? How can you understand others? How can you help others? Because you cannot do everything by yourself. You need your team. It's a team effort. It's not about you. Whatever you do, it's not about you. It's about, a team effort. And then you have your special talent. Then what is your special talent? What is your vision as a leader? Where you want to go? How do you want to be remembered as a leader? What do you want to do for others? What is your special talent to understand others, to empower others, or to create this environment of trust where people can express themselves? Because if you do for yourself, you allow others, to do the same. And as a leader, if you want to be a great leader, if you want to connect with others, there is only one way to connect with people, is to be human, to be authentic. If people feel that you are human, you are like me, we can connect. You are not this hero, okay, it is great, but it's not me. No, we are human being all together. We are not human doing, by the way. And then you connect with me. And then you create this environment of trust.
Your book is full of very practical advice, and one of them is to make peace with the past, is your travel through time exercise, where you think of an event in the future that makes you nervous. Can you tell us about this exercise? It's really interesting.
You like this one? Yeah, so visualization is very important and very helpful. So we talk about visualization. So imagine that you're going to have an interview tomorrow for a job or whatever, or with board member, and we are a bit nervous. Okay, so you just close your eyes, you breathe, you close your eyes, and you imagine yourself there already. So you imagine yourself, with the board member. Okay, so you see the place where you are, you feel who is there, who is talking, who is not talking, what do you see, do you stay, what are you doing? And then you see yourself talking, details on, you don't need the details, but seeing yourself talking. And then it's finished, it's over, blah, blah, blah. And then you leave the room. How do you feel? What is happening now? So you visualize everything. And with my clients, very often we do the exercise. And when they're very nervous, they tell me, oh, something happened. And then, okay, we go back. Okay, let's do it together. And then you imagine that, no, everything is cool. You're not nervous. So if you're not nervous, what are you doing? Are you going to stand up or are you going to sit? Oh, I prefer to stand up. Okay, you stand up. So you say what you have to say. Okay, say what happened. Oh, everybody's, it's good. It's good. It's happened well. Everything happened. Okay, good. So, and then you leave, the room. And how do you feel? Oh, much better. This is it. You made it.
In the third part of your book, it's about mind build. So we start by raising awareness of our mind traps. Then we saw how we could escape from those mind traps and with mind shifts. And the third part of the book is about mind build, where you engage leaders to adopt and maintain a new perspective and put the human leadership first. Can you give us some again some very practical exercises that one leader can do to adopt those new perspective without falling back in the mind traps that are so tempting from time to times?
Sure. So I think the first one exercise that I just love. So now what is it about? Now it is about that you free yourself, so you're free. You can breathe better because you can at least, be connected with yourself. Okay. What story do you want to write? What is important for you? So I would invite you to think about what are your values? What is your why? How do you want to show up as a leader? Again, so what is important? How do you want people to tell you about you when you're going to leave? I have an exercise which is not easy, but works very well, is to think about, write down, imagine the day, one day we're not going to be here again, right? So imagine that day and imagine that, it's people, it's your eulogy and what people say about you. It's a very difficult exercise, but it's you understand that we are not just one person because you see, all your life. And then this is very helpful to know what is important for you. So I will invite you to do that. Maybe, not the first thing to do, but if you're ready to do it, I will invite you. And then what you could do is, and starting now, you can do a 3-column exercise. Who is, okay, so now that I am free, what I want to keep in my life. So all your life, job, personal, what I want to keep, what I want to add in my life that I don't have today, and what I don't want anymore in my life. It's over. I don't want that anymore. Take the time to do it, to do these 3 columns. So I repeat, it's what I want to keep in my life, what I like and I want to keep it because it's me. It resonates with me. What I want to add that I don't have today. And think big. It's okay. And what I want to drop completely. Not anymore. Then those 3 columns are going to guide you because something is going to happen and you will say, oh, I decided that, okay, I want to drop that. Or I want, to change this behavior or, things like that. So you take the time to reflect on that, what behavior is on your way, what you want to change. And then in order to stay on track, you do what I call your daily rendezvous, as I say here. It's your daily rendezvous. In a day, we have plenty of rendezvous, right? How many times do you have a rendezvous with yourself? Not a lot. So take at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes per day. So write down, what you decide to change the behavior. So I don't know. So for example, want to listen more, not show up, not give the answer right away, trust people more, whatever, listen more, something like that. And then you write down that and you read everything and you ask yourself, did I do my best today to listen to whatever it is? But the question is not, it's fine if you forgot. So did I do my best? It's not that I have to do it or I'm going to die. No, did I do my best? Be nice with yourself. And okay, and if you didn't, it's okay. But because you took this time to reflect, your brain are going to remember, oh yes, 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 we decided to not do that anymore. So tomorrow I will do differently, and that's all. So the only way to stay on track is to double check where you are. If you are still, in your path, and if you are still connected with yourself, take the time to feel your body, your emotions. So how do you feel? How am I? Oh, I'm very nervous. What happened? Okay, at least you are aware something happened. That's not normal. Okay, take the time to slow down. And then it sounds completely ridiculous, and people think, oh man, very busy person, I cannot do that. Hey, you cannot do that. Just try. It's not going to take you long. You can start with 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you will see. It's like exercise. After, you cannot do without it, and your life is going to change. I promise. I really promise that.
One of the exercises I loved reading your books in this mind build section is looking for areas we have in common with someone else rather than focusing on how different they are from us. It's very, very simple, but very, very powerful. You talk as well about equine assisted learning. How do you work with horses to raise awareness on perceptions and empathy?
So this is very interesting. So, I did myself this exercise with a friend of mine who is doing that here in the US. And so, as you know, horses don't talk, so they don't talk, they just feel. So I used to be a horse rider, so a show jumper. So I know a little about horses that I love. But that exercise is very interesting because it was we needed the horse didn't have anything, so we were in a closed place, and we were three of us like a team, and then we decided who is going to lead and who is going to help like a team. And the exercise, we had to go in a place and make the horse enter the place and don't move without touching the horse. We didn't have anything. And then you realize that it's all about who we decided correctly who is going to do what. So I was leading in that case, and I had two people who helped me with the horse, but right distance, not too close, not too high, just to. And then the first time I didn't succeed. The second time I succeed, but I know because I was completely connected with the horse. So I was just very calm, very connected, with the horse, and said, okay, we're going to go there. I didn't talk, but I didn't have to talk. But my vision was clear, like leader. My vision was clear. We're going to go there. Okay? And then the horse said, okay, we go there. She looks like she knows what she wants to do. So I just walked very, 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 very calm. I was very calm. I walked, until we were at the place, and then I started to tell, in my head, I started to tell my horse, so no, we're going to stop there. So we're going to do 3 steps, and we're going to stop. And then, just the fact that you said that to yourself, in fact, your body language changed, everything changed. You start to slow down. Then the horse get that, and then hop in the middle of where I wanted to. I just stopped, and I was decide, no doubt, we're going to stop. The horse stopped, and then this is a great lesson because this is what we are talking about when you are connected with yourself. So, okay, how I feel. If you feel nervous, your horse is going to feel nervous. So if you feel nervous, your team is going to feel nervous. If you don't take the time to, of course, I forgot to explain also that I was looking at the horse, so I could see if the horse wanted also to, what happened if, I don't know, if a bird was there and he didn't listen to me or something like that. So you're connected with people, you look at people, and your body language, everything we do, everything we think, it's, you send that to your team, to the people around you. They can feel it exactly like the horse. We don't need to talk that much, because remember, it's all about, the mirror neurons. It's not about what you say, it's more about what you do.
It's not about what you say, it's about what you do. Thank you very much, Hortense, for your presence with us today. Mind traps, how to identify them, mind shift, how to escape from those mind traps that are so tempting, and mind build, how do we build ourselves as an authentic human leader. This is all in your new book, The Unlocked Leader. Thank you very much for this very insightful perspective. I will recall the three questions about the mind traps, about the perspective that someone else is giving us about us. Is it true? Is it relevant? Is it useful? Is it true? Is it relevant? Is it useful? At least talking with you is true, is relevant, and is very useful. Thank you very, very much, Hortense. To obviously the next steps for everyone is, if you haven't done it yet, is to buy Hortense's book, The Unlocked Leader. Dare to free your own voice, lead with empathy, and shine your light in the world. Some other books that you're recommending: An Autobiography of a Yogi, Paramahansa Yogananda, and The Little Prince by Saint-Exupéry. Always a very good reference. And a quote that you selected: people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. I didn't know that one, by Theodore Roosevelt. People don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. Beautiful quote. Beautiful quote. If you still have a few moments to spare us, would love to welcome questions from the audience. Lila, do we have questions already from our listeners?
Yes, one is, can creating a mind build also enable us to detect signs of stress or burnout earlier in others?
Could you repeat slowly, please?
Yes. Can creating a mind build also enable us to detect signs of stress or burnout earlier in others?
Okay. Yes, I would say yes, because again, it's all a question of, if you're connected with yourself, you don't lose your time fighting against yourself. So you are here, and then you can connect with others. Then you can feel this empathy. What is empathy, by the way? Empathy is the ability to feel what others are feeling, and then you come back to yourself. If you want to help somebody, for example, burnout, if you feel like someone is not feeling well, so you feel it, it's empathy. So when you build, you are on your mind built, and you write your own story, you have this ability, yes, to, because it's clear, the path is clear for you. You have this ability to feel what other feels. And by the way, if you want to help these people, don't stay stick with what they feel. If you feel that, if you feel the burnout, if you want to help them, you have to come back to yourself. It's not you. It didn't happen to you. It happened to this person. But you step in compassion. So you're here, you feel that, and you can ask this person, do you need help? How can I help you?
Okay, another question is, concretely, how can we detect and step back from a mind trap that was caused by someone else?
So as we said, so this is someone else. So think about, the trap, the mind trap. Where are you trapped? Okay. Think about the person behind that voice, and what I call the voice. Who said that? Who is the source? And then the work here is to let go. So how you do that? By asking the 3 questions. Is it true what this person says? Is it relevant? Is it helpful today? Okay, maybe it was helpful. If it does, and if one of them is, the answer is no, you let go. So there is, in the book you will find there is an exercise with a tug of war that I just love, because this to let go. So you try to do this exercise. You put the other person, you have a rope, and then in the other side of the rope you put the voice or the person, okay, and you imagine the play, and you imagine at one moment you let go, and you see what happened. And the thing is, if you want again to let go, you take the time, you do it again and again, but take the time to make peace with the person behind. It's not a question, it's time to be to anger, to say, yeah, it's your fault. No, it doesn't work like that way. And sometimes you need time, and it's okay, take all the time you need. But if you want to be free, this is the only way. It's not even a question of pardon. It's just a question of understand that each of us, we have a path. And if somebody hurt you, maybe it was in purpose, maybe not, but it doesn't matter. It's not your job to fix this person. Your job is to fix yourself. Not to fix, I don't like fix, but your job is to be connected with yourself. Allow yourself to be who you are. And you feel angry, you feel something, whatever it is, it's an emotion, you are still keeping the rope. You cannot go very far. If you have a rope, I have a rope, cannot go.
Okay, and the last question is, should we only take into consideration our self-reflection or also take into account the feedback from others? And how do we step back from the criticism we receive?
Feedback or, what people think can be good or not, depending of the situation. But you can listen to everyone, this is okay, but you don't have to accept everything. So you need this time to go back to yourself, to be alone, to reflect, and to say, okay, how do I feel? Okay, Lila told me, I should wear rose, pink. Okay, why not? But I don't feel well, wearing pink. So thank you, Lila, for your advice. But, I'm going to keep, wearing my black one. But whatever is the situation, this is it. This is about, and at one point, you will be so sure of, what you want to do or how to react to a situation that you will not even have to listen to others, because you will know that this is just that way to go. After, you can ask for feedback, for advice, about whatever you want to do, of course, because it can be helpful, because something can resonate with you. The secret is resonate. This is it. If you feel like, oh, it's resonate, makes sense for you, okay, take the advice. If you think, oh, it doesn't make sense, it's more about, I have to, okay, don't take it.
Hortense, thank you very, very much for being with us today. The Unlock leader, Hortense le Gentil, how to escape your mind traps and build an authentic human leadership. A very practical guide to work every day on your leadership style. Next week, we'll have the pleasure of welcoming Gilles Bogart. He's Executive Vice President of Global Markets of Pernod Ricard. He will tell us about the changes in the drink industry. Thank you very much, everyone, for your presence with us. And Have a good day. Thank you again, Hortense, for your presence.
Thank you for having me.